Hello, my stamping friends. This is Renee Novak at blessedbycards.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States, and I'm coming to you from St. Louis, Missouri. And today I'm going to share with you 3 cards that I've created for our Make It Monday tutorial. And I'm using the lovely and beautiful designer series paper. This really is lovely and beautiful. I'm not kidding. This is a gorgeous paper pack, and this is all I have left of this sheet right here. I featured it on another video, so you can find that on my blog at blessedbycards.com. And here's a sheet of this, and then look at that gorgeous gold. And then there's some beautiful flowers with flecks of gold in here, so this really is a specialty paper. And it coordinates very nicely with this other side. And I love it when our designer series paper actually coordinates on the other side so that you can flip it. So this is, again, lovely and beautiful. And it is available on my blog at blessedbycards.com. So let's get started with the 3 cards that I've created using this paper pack. So this is the first card that I've created, and what I've done is I've taken a piece of 4 by 4¼ inch piece of that designer series paper, and then I put it in my paper cutter, and I lined it up at 1 inch on each side, and then I cut it on the diagonal, and then I separated them apart. So these 2 pieces are filling up this whole space of 4¼ by 5, but it started with a piece of 4 by 4¼ So that is a great way to stretch your designer series paper. I did put a full piece of 4 by 5¼ inch white on the back. It was just a little easier for me to get that to the very bottom of that piece of paper and the very top, so that I had a perfectly even place to put my greeting. And this greeting is from Friendly Foliage, and that's also in the new mini catalog. And I did this all on a petal pink card base. Now you can add a white on the inside if you want, but this is really light, so you would not have to. That's optional. For my second card, again, I used a piece of paper from that designer series pack, and I kind of wanted to just make a little focal point. And I started with an old olive card base, and to that I added a calypso coral, and I actually embossed that dry emboss with the exposed brick embossing folder. And then on this 3¼ by 4¼ panel, I added my DSP. Now all the supplies and all the measurements are available on my blog at blessedbycards.com. You can download a free project sheet. But that measures 1¼ by 4, 1 inch by 4, and 1/2 inch by 4. And I just mounted them on the old olive and then attached them to the card front. I stamped on my white panel the happy birthday and the fancy little greeting there from the Address to You stamp set, colored it in with the markers, and for my black dots, I colored in solid and then added that with a black journaling pen. I did add some gold twine behind there, and I popped it all up with Stampin' Dimensionals. So that's our second card. And our third card, I again started with a Calypso Coral card base, and I went with the old olive theme. And I took a piece of the designer series paper, and I just cut it down to 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And then what I did was I ran it through the embossing folder, the Forever Plaid. So I just ran my designer series paper through there. And then I took a brayer of white craft ink. So if you can see that this is just slightly muted than the normal paper. Let me see if I can find the actual paper that I used. Okay, so here's the paper that I used, and you can see that after adding that white craft ink, it just muted it ever so slightly. Okay, so then what I did was I took just a rectangle die, and I cropped out the Thinking of You. Now this Thinking of You is from Friendly Foliage, and that's also in the new mini catalog. And I popped that up on Stampin' Dimensionals. And before I did, that is a white panel, and I originally started and I was just going to sponge around the edge with the Calypso Coral, but I didn't like it. It clashed with the softness of my DSP, and so I just went and just sponged the whole thing with Calypso Coral. Now you can just get a Calypso Coral cardstock and do it, but I'd already stamped it and already copped it, so I just went ahead and went with it and sponged everything over. So that is how that came about. So that is our third and final card for today's Make It Monday tutorial. Be sure to hop on over to my blog at blessedbycards.com to download your free project sheet. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss any future videos. And until next time, be blessed.